Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had a very good beginning of the week. It's been a lovely day, so I hope you've had a chance to enjoy the weather a little bit. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the design process. It's one of the very first questions that we do get asked as interior designers. How does it work? How do you work? What happens step by step? And although we do try to explain it in words, it's always better to show our clients the actual examples, which we always do. So we thought it would be a good idea to show you some examples of step-by-step process. We can't unfortunately show you the brief documents that we start with, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what brief is and what it usually contains. And then, I think I have a poor reception, so apologies if the video breaks a little bit. I'll try to come back. If you have any questions or if it gets interrupted, do let me know and I'll come back to what I was saying. Also, if you have any questions during the video or after the video, you can either message me or type in the comments. I'll look at the comments after and try to answer some of your questions. So, the brief. What is the brief? The brief is this very important document that we type up after we meet our clients. It's very important because it's the foundation for the concept design, which I'm going to show you an example of. What happens is that we try to understand what our clients want and determine the scope of project so that we can basically propose the best design possible to them. And this document basically states the scope of work, client's style, client's requirements, wishes. We also do state the budget, the timeline, project address. It's very often the project address is different from the client's address. That's why I can't really share those documents with you. So once the brief is ready, we start the process of designing. And once we're ready, we show this to the client. So I'm just going to show you a few examples of concept presentation boards, because we try to make them as clear to our clients as possible. Okay, I think I have a message in the inbox from somebody. If you can type in your question maybe in the comment, that would be great. Okay, so if you give me a moment, I'm just gonna flip the camera to the screen and show you some examples of the most recent concepts we've been working on. Just bear with me a second. Just want to make sure that the screen is ready. Okay. Right. I hope you can see that. Perfect. So this is an example from a recent presentation, a concept presentation of a guest bedroom. A client wanted to convert the room into something quite practical, which would function as a kind of game room but also as a guest bedroom for their family and friends coming over. So we've proposed this very slim built-in joinery, and this was actually one of the very first sketches. This was the opposite, shows basically the opposite side of the room with a sofa bed and some wall decoration. We proposed this really funky monkey light, just to add a little bit more interest to the wall, and some really cool mirrors. I'm just going to show you in a bit. If you've been following my Instagram, you might have actually seen the developed visual of this part of the room. Sorry, still trying to get the camera angle right. Maybe I'll just move it a little bit away. Thank you. Just had some nice comments. Thank you very much. This was another variation of the built-in joinery with deep drawers at the bottom, but we've still integrated the built-in wardrobes on each side, and these little circles just indicate the finishes, proposed finishes. That was another variation. And yet another one. So sometimes at the concept level, we do show clients different variations of the joinery or finishes. And this is very interesting. This is actually very, very important to us, this page, and it's also very important to the clients. So on this page, we have a very specific layout that we follow throughout the process, which ensures that there's a cohesion and coherence between the stages, and most importantly for the clients. So the way we present the design, lay it out, we basically show all the specified proposed furniture, fixtures, could be accessories, at the top. And on the right hand side, we are showing the plan, which has little numbers. I'm just going to try to show it to you maybe a little bit closer. There we go. So everything on the plan has a numeric reference, and that numeric reference goes back to the actual specified piece. So for example, if you were wondering what number 5 is, which sits on the side table, you can go back here and see this is a glass vase. So even if our clients do wonder sometimes where things go, they can very easily do that while referring to the plan. And at the bottom we specify the finishes. So now just want to show you how this concept was actually developed. So after the presentation, the initial presentation to the client, we go back and we address clients' comments and make changes accordingly and appropriately. So after presenting those concepts, those sketches, materials to the client, we went back to the drawing board, and we've come up with this, which has been now approved by the client, and it's going to be installed end of this month, which is really exciting. So you can see that from the initial concept to the actual developed design with photorealistic visuals, there could be some changes, and there are certain steps. So sometimes we remove things, sometimes we change a lot of things, sometimes we change just a few things. And this is a different sofa that we actually proposed. So I'm just gonna adjust the screen again so you can see better. So we've changed the sofa, but the clients really like the idea of the stone mirrors and the funky monkey light as well on the table. And this is a view from the window side. So you can see this is a pretty small room, but we still made the most of the space and made it interesting and practical as well. And this is a developed design board, which follows exactly the same pattern throughout. So again, we have the plans with specified furniture, fixtures, and at the bottom we also have the finishes. I want to show you another example. So this was the entrance hallway. This is still the entrance hallway to a family house. We're actually still working on the design. We're going to make a few more changes. But we've done the concept. We've done the first presentation on the developed design, and we're going to work through the changes, address clients' comments, and propose to them once again. So this was the initial sketch of the entrance hallway. We've had some interesting ideas about some funky columns here, which unfortunately had to go because not everything that we propose initially gets approved, and that is absolutely fine because we're here to work with the clients and for the clients to bring them the best design solutions. It's not just what we think works best. And here we have the same board. You can see it's a different project, but it's the same concept because we know that it reads well and it is very clear for our clients. This is a sketch of a very interesting room, which is called the Harry's room, which is basically hidden just behind those stairs. That was proposed initially by the architect and developed by us. And this is the inside of Harry's room. So some shelving with some cushions and some lighting for kids to play. And again, some initial elevations with some proposed finishes. This was the initial concept for the open plan kitchen and dining area. And we had to change quite a lot of it because our initial idea of the banquet sitting didn't quite work for our clients. So we've changed it. I'm going to show you how we changed it. This is another view, another sketch. So if you're working with us, this is what you would see throughout the process. Some more detailed kitchen sketches. We actually, so we're working obviously within the structural constraints of the building, and we have two columns that we need to work with. So we had this idea of turning this column into like a mini rotating library for cookbooks. Unfortunately, because we had to redo the layout, we actually had to change that. But we've come up with something else. So. And these were some preliminary visuals by the kitchen supplier. And there we go. And we also had this board where we presented clients with our first propositions for the materials, for the furniture and fixtures. And then I'm going to show you how it all looked when it was developed. So this is the entrance hallway. Now you can see that we've put in color, we've changed a few things around. So instead of the funky columns, we will now have the aquarium, actually, which you'll see right from the entrance, which would be really, really cool idea. And the developed design board with the plans, visuals, and again, proposed and specified finishes. This is the entrance to Harry's room and a view of the staircase. We're really excited about this this little room for kids. And this is how it will look more or less inside. Obviously we had to cut through the door. It will have door. We're just going to have the ombre effect on walls, but basically we'll work with the same colors. And a few more specifications. So you can see it's really consistent, whether it's a developed design or whether it's a concept design. It's very clear to read and very clear to understand, even if you're not, you don't consider yourself a very kind of avid an interior design person, or you don't know much about it, you would still understand what the vision and what we're trying to present. And this was a developed visual of the kitchen with a dining room, so it's changed quite substantially because we needed to get a separate dining table, not a banquet seating arrangement, and we basically added breakfast bar to the island, so when the clients are cooking, people sitting at the breakfast bar can directly communicate with them and kind of sit much closer. And this is another view. Also, we've proposed 3 different splashback options to our clients. You can see I'm just going to flip a couple of times. So 1, 2, and 3. And actually we're going to develop the second one because this is what resonated with our clients the most. And again, the developed design board looks like the concept board, but with a lot more detail. And obviously it's done after the changes. So between the concept and the developed design, you see transitions and changes to the materials specified at the bottom, to the fixtures which are specified at the top, to the layout itself. So the layout, which is always on the right hand side, can change, of course, depending on the feedback that we get from our clients. So I'm just going to flip back the camera. It's been moving today. There we go. Right, so I'm back, but I'm gonna probably, the phone, sorry. The phone is not cooperating today very well. So I hope that this has given you some insight into how we present and the process itself. So we work with our clients from the brief through the concept, develop design. Then of course, we do a lot more, but in terms of the actual design work, this is how we present to the clients, ensuring that it's all very clear at each stage and very nicely presented, and the clients know which direction they're going and what the space could actually look like, because we're only interested in helping and bringing the best design solutions for our clients and for the spaces. Again, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, you can send me a message. I will look into inbox case, or you can just basically post a comment under the live video. If you'd like to read a little bit more about the design process, if you go into my blog, which you can access through my website, and type in Design Process Explained, you will find 1 or 2 posts where I described quite some detail how the process works. Obviously, it's a little bit different to see the boards themselves while I was showing you the transitions from the concept to develop design, but still reading might be worth it. You might want to find out a little bit more. Also, if you'd like to read about the process or simply see more of what we do, go to www.katymalik.co.uk, and portfolio. Now we have a new section added to the portfolio, which is before and after. So you can see major transitions between very, very dated spaces into completely transformed spaces. We love before and after. Actually, the person who built my website said it was really difficult to figure out what was the space before and what was the space after, because they're basically barely recognizable. Wondering whether you have actually the same impression of before and after. Thank you very much for listening and for staying with me for a couple of minutes on a Monday evening. I hope you've enjoyed the video and the explanation with some examples. If you'd like to see anything in particular, or you'd like us to talk about anything in particular, please send us a message, and we'll try to accommodate it. Thank you and have a lovely evening.